everyone, and welcome to the Death Battle Cast. Hey, I'm Ben. I'm the voice of Wiz, of course, as your usual host. I am joined by Sam, Liam, and Billy.
Hey.
Hello, look at this. Excited to have you guys here. Looking forward to this matchup. It's going to be a fun one, I think. Chad could not be here this week. He's got a family vacation he's been on. It's been planned for a while, so he's doing that right now. But he will be back next week, or he should be, unless, he decides to just be on family vacation forever. But no, he'll be back next week. We'll have more to talk about.
He is a warm-blooded person. He will not survive the cold for more than 1 week. Don't worry.
That's true. That's true.
Go and suffer.
Yeah, I don't know why he chose to go to Antarctica, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Everyone's
really
choice, right?
poor choice. But the kids just really
Exploring,
wanted
yeah.
to find some
He
polar
wanted
bears, I
500
guess.
mile per hour winds.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
What are you gonna do? Only one place to get them.
Exactly. Okay, so we'll get into the death battle, community death battle in just a minute, but I do want to address the elephant in the room, of course. As plenty of you, I'm sure, know, Rooster Teeth is going to be closing its doors in May. For now, we will be continue posting on the Death Battle YouTube channel as normal. You may notice super chats are disabled, and we do not recommend buying or gifting new memberships for the time being. We are processing this information in real time, and we'll provide updates on specific sunset plans for Rooster Teeth in the coming weeks. If you do have any questions about Rooster Teeth in the meantime, you can contact the company via the support page. You can also just keep tabs on all of us on social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, pretty much everywhere as @BenBSinger. If you guys want to real quick actually let everybody know where they can find you guys.
Find almost all of them in the description. I actually just updated to include Billy as well. So most of us are there in the description. You can check that out. Yeah.
I appreciate you remembering that.
Yeah.
Real quick, shotgun them out. Chad, Sam, Liam, where can they find you?
Screw attack Sam just about anywhere where there is stuff.
You're still Screw Attack Sam.
I'm the last one, baby.
Holding on.
You never changed it?
No, man. I don't use social media like at all. So for me, I was just like, what am I changing this for? Like, I don't know.
I have a Twitter and an Instagram, and I have an actor website, and there's a little option to like send a message to me on the website if you want to contact me. So if you want to be goofy, you can use that extremely weird way of contacting me.
Hold on.
If you
I'm
desperately
loading it up
want
right
to.
now.
But
Do
Twitter is
you
probably
really
better.
want them doing that?
I mean,
No,
okay.
I
Invited
don't. Or Discord. Me on Discord.
And Billy.
I think I'm pretty sure it's Ringmaster DBX on Twitter. That's mostly promo for that stuff, but hey.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Wait, Liam, you never said your actual handle.
Oh, I don't remember what it is. Liam Richard Swan, I think. Can
Yeah.
I just say I got
don't know
like
how to-
10,000. I got 10,000 likes on a tweet recently on the stupidest
Nice.
fucking tweet.
The
It was-
dopamine
it was
hit, no matter how aware you
great.
are of it, right? It feels good.
All I said was Goku. It's whatever. It's just I said this. There's like Goku wins about something, and I got 10,000 likes, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Is that all it takes? Oh my
It's
gosh,
all it
that's all it
takes!
takes to be
It's like-
famous?
I couldn't believe it.
Shit.
I mean, Goku wins, right? Like, so
He does
makes
win.
sense.
I mean, we know this. We know this.
What?
I think Goku beats
Right,
Kenpachi
Ben?
and Sukuna at the same
Oh
time.
no,
Yeah.
have I been doing social media wrong this whole time? All I have to do is write Goku wins and I'll
It
be
was-
famous?
I think for
retweeted-
you, that
it was-
especially that will do wonders, Ben.
Will it, or will it create controversy? Wait, what if I write Superman wins? Will that work?
Oh, people are gonna go.
Are there
nuts.
Oh, no, for
dislikes
me,
on
it's-
Twitter?
And for you, Liam, it's Ben 10 wins.
Yeah, if
That's
I
what
say
we need
Ben
to start
10
trying
wins,
out. Let's
then
try that.
people
Let's try
will,
that
like,
next.
explode.
Okay.
I
Uh,
will
Kenpachi and Sukuna.
every now and then I'll see the argument on like our Reddit, and obviously I have like multiple fake Reddits just because
Yeah.
I want to fuck with people.
Okay.
But I
Here,
will occasionally in like different platforms tell people the Green Goblin's better than Ben 10 just to like really throw it off the curve. But yeah.
I'm going to do an
Goblins.
experiment right now. Everybody who's watching this live, I'm just tweeting Goku wins. That's all I just tweeted. If we can get that to 10,000 likes and beat Liam's before the end of the stream,
Hold on, I'm going
then
through my part.
Here's the really funny thing.
I don't know, then we win.
Here's the really funny thing about the handful of Death Battle people that follow me on Instagram is that recently, like, I was in a short film at like the end of 2022, and it was finally getting released. Like, I think it was like on YouTube or whatever, which was not like a big deal, but you know, the person that directed it, my friend, was like, you know, posting around the story, so I shared the story. I was like, oh, cool, it's finally coming out. And then I saw like Death Battle people on the Discord like talking about it, and I was like, because it is not a like even remotely Death Battle adjacent thing at all. It's this very like somber short film about like a vulnerability and like body dysmorphia and like being like connecting with another human being. And I was like, oh, this has absolutely no crossover whatsoever. And there are fucking Death Battle fans in the comments being like, is that Liam Swan?
Oh, really?
And my friend shared it with me because he thought it was the funniest fucking thing he'd ever seen. So
see,
yeah.
That's all because you got 10,000 likes on your Goku wins tweet. So everybody go to mine real quick and let's get mine to 10,000.
I don't think most of you guys will like it.
Oh, so just to repeat myself real quick, and I'll mention this a few times about the cast if I hopefully remember. Super chats are currently disabled, and we do not recommend gifting or buying member at this time. So just a heads
up. But still, thank you.
But still, thank you. Yeah, we do. I will say we really appreciate all the support that we have seen. So thank you all.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to this death battle, this community death battle. So today we are talking about Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen versus Kenpachi from Bleach. We will have Billy arguing for Sukuna and Liam arguing for Kenpachi. Here's how this works.
I forgot my gimmick. Oh no.
Oh no. Quick domain expansion, anything? So here's how this is going to work. It is their job to convince the jury that their character will win by any means necessary. And the jury consists of 3 seats. It's going to be me, it's going to be Sam, and it's going to be all of you watching this live right now. There will be a poll on the YouTube chat at the end of the show for you to vote. Submit your vote. That's how that works. All right. So I'm excited to get into this. This is another JJK character. And
I'm just waiting for
I'm always excited to learn more about them.
You know,
Bleach. Yeah, Billy's been gone for a while. Also, what is is that Baby Yoda just ominously pulsating, glowing in the center of the screen?
An unpunted Baby Yoda.
Like, what's going on there? It looks
someone
like
needs to do something about that.
It looks like some sort of demonic shrine to Baby Yoda.
It's like glowing.
What do you mean? Glowing? That's what it is. Yeah.
Like he's going to resurrect the corpse of Baby Yoda. It's happening. This is okay. Anyway,
shout out to Velvet Vessel in the chat who said, "I loved it when Sukuna went, 'I'm a god above all curses,' and Kenpachi responded with, 'If you are God, then I'm Pikachu,' and then obliterated Sukuna." That is how this goes.
I mean, no, not at all.
I do want to point something out. Even though, again, we mentioned we don't recommend getting memberships at the moment. Congrats to a few of you for reaching 2 years of being a member. We have a new badge in the chat. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome to see. All right. Let's get into this. So we will start with
Liam?
Kenpachi.
Okay.
Kenpachi.
Liam, you have 60 seconds on the clock. Tell us about Kenpachi.
Kenpachi is not a name, but a title. It means, like, the strongest motherfucker to ever live. Kenpachi's ability is cutting anything. It is as close as possible as it can be to hacks. It might literally be hacks in some cases. Kenpachi is just unbeatable. He has the strength of an anime shonen protagonist without actually being the shonen protagonist. He is stronger than Sukuna. He is faster than Sukuna. He has counters for everything that Sukuna can do, even if you give Sukuna the 10 Shadows techniques that he has when he possesses Megumi's body. he doesn't normally have. But even if you give that to him, Kenpachi has a counter for everything. He has more experience. He has more skill. They are both big, strong, cutting dudes, but Kenpachi is the bigger, the stronger, and the cuttier. He's just going to absolutely shred the fuck out of Sukuna. There's just not a lot of debate to be had here. Bleach is too strong for him.
Counterpoint, Liam. Nuh-uh.
Strong. I'm sold.
Chat. There are some people in chat who are wondering if Kenpachi is not his real name, what is his name?
I don't remember. I think maybe it might be a thing where he didn't have a name or something like that. He was like, so his origin is that he was like a little boy in the Soul Society, which I guess means that he was like the ghost of a little boy.
So is it
maybe,
not? Is Zaraki not his name? Is it part of the title?
Maybe. This is the stuff I didn't look up because it wasn't important to determining who wins a
Right.
fight. But he essentially was like this a super badass killer little kid, and he fought the original Kenpachi or the previous Kenpachi, who was Unohana, and won, he lost at the time and then won later. He fights Unohana again in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc and beats her, and is like, oh, you truly deserve the title, Kenpachi, which is technically already after he's called Kenpachi, but whatever. He's just the best swordsman ever. He's just so good. When he fought Unohana and beat her, she knew like over 8,000 sword techniques, and Kenpachi himself has been fighting for over 1,000 years, like consistently.
Wait,
okay, so chat has clarified his real name is John Bleach. So
his name is John Bleach. Okay,
right.
John
Yeah,
Bleach.
right. I remember
He
that.
doesn't need to know his
The
name
Bleach
to know he
himself.
kicks ass.
I can see
It's
why you would
fine.
forget that. Yeah.
What was that, Sam?
All right, let's talk about. Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
So can there be two Zarakis at once? Because you said he was already being called that when he beat her.
I forget exactly what the rules are. I kind of wish I didn't
surname.
even bring this up. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, this
kind
is
of
what
wish
we're
I
going to
didn't
talk about for the rest of the show. Kenpachi, what's his real name? Let's get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, wait, Kenpachi. So can there be two Kenpachis? Yes or no? It doesn't really matter. I'm just curious.
I think that Kenpachi is a title which is bestowed upon the strongest. So
Okay.
maybe you can call multiple people the Kenpachi, but like.
Okay, yeah. So he was being called the Kenpachi when he went against the previous Kenpachi, which then solidified him as the true Kenpachi.
It's like Captain Falcon.
Okay.
Yeah,
you have to pass down the
names. Passed along. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know why that's the one that came to mind first. All right, let's talk about Sukuna.
Yeah,
Who the heck is Sukuna?
Yeah, give me it. Ryomen Sukuna, the legendary Jujutsu sorcerer, has existed since the golden age of Jujutsu thousands of years ago and has threatened all that came afterwards. Unmatched to the ages, he has dispatched countless sorcerers who rose to stand against him. The legendary imaginary demon said to possess 4 arms and 2 faces, which kind of checks out. In a direct way, he is pretty much the main thing that Jujutsu Kaisen is about. By his own admission, he's a hidden hedonist, a destructive mentality that's like, if I want to eat, I'll eat. If I see an eyesore, I'll kill it. If it entertains me, I'll throw it a bone. He lives according to his own stature, and if that can't be measured or understood, he doesn't really care. It's not his problem. A millennia ago, he let his soul be split amongst his 20 cursed fingers, because, again, checks out. And they're all indestructible. They all draw evil entities in, and they all kind of, like, make them stronger. So he's got countless abilities, which I'm going to run out of time before I can get into, but we'll get into shortly. I assure you, though, he has an anti-Kenpachi technique that hasn't been used since the Heian era.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, he's got a secret ability that is called anti-Kenpachi. Like, of course,
he just pulls
because it's a title. It just works against whoever's the strongest. Sorry, can you go back? 20 cursed fingers? What is that?
He has 4 arms, and all of those arms got fingers, obviously, and they were
20
willingly separated from him. He chose to let this happen, kind of like as a game. It seems like.
He gave himself. Yeah, he gave himself 4 arms and 2 mouths, or there may be more than 2 mouths, but he gave himself 4 arms and 2 mouths because it makes doing like incantations and chanting easier, like hand jutsus and doing. Right? Exactly, you have more, so that's like it literally makes him better at doing jujutsu cursed techniques because he can do more at the same time. Mm-hmm. And when he died, so Sukuna is a human. He is like a sorcerer, but he's so powerful that he basically people thought of him as a curse. Curse are like the demons in Jujutsu Kaisen. And when he died, he removed his fingers so that if anybody like ate his fingers, he would be able to possess their body. So that's essentially gave himself a way of immortality. Which is what happens in the
which is pretty much how the series works. Actually, I love that. That's one of the things I like about the series. Like, the protagonist eats the finger right off the bat, and instantly it's the worst decision you could have made. Like,
oh yeah, it was terrible. He should have died,
but it was a bad choice.
It was actually they frame it in the beginning as like, oh, it's a cool, like he's bold and brave, but he'll be able to handle it. It's like, no, you fucked up so hard. It's actually terrible that this happened.
He sets up the death of numerous people.
Yeah.
So all Sukuna has to do to win this is shove a finger down Kenpachi's throat.
That's what he does to Megumi. Because when he's inhabiting Yuji's body, but Yuji doesn't have a curse technique. So he's like, I want his power, because the 10 Shadows is really, really busted. So he breaks off one of his fingers and jams it down Megumi's throat. And then the next page is Yuji, like, no longer Sukuna-fied, like, looking horrified as Sukuna has, like, Megumi has the Sukuna markings, and he's like, ha ha ha.
And I'm assuming Sukuna has the same kind of healing thing.
Yeah,
reverse restores fingers.
Yep. Yes,
Yeah.
we should definitely get into, the deeper abilities. I took too long there. Waxed poetic a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about what else Sukuna can do.
So yeah, he's got the ability to invert negative energy and kind of make himself able to heal from just about any injury. And he can also cast defensive spells. I believe, what is it called? Wicker basket?
Hollow wicker basket.
Hollow wicker basket, yes, which can defend against pretty much anything coming his way.
According to DR in chat, it's important to note that his fingers taste like soap. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That
tastes
waxy,
like the
old
that
skin,
sucks.
Right? Yeah.
What's the name of that one
That's
actress
awful.
that the Gwyneth Paltrow? So it tastes like that.
Wow, Liam. What a
wow.
deep, weird drink cut for us.
In fact, that's
Wait,
actually
wait. How do you know that it specifically tastes like that? Like that
He's
one
just
specifically?
You don't get to head to research
No.
that.
I'm very curious. Is there a story here, Liam?
No, there's no story. There doesn't have to be a story. The world isn't always story. The world is. We don't have stories. It's not a story. I didn't eat the soap. I didn't do that.
Okay. we'll find out. We'll find out, chat. All right. Sorry, Billy. Keep going.
So he's got the healing, he's got defense, he's also got a great many slashing techniques that seems to be one of his specialties, is slashing and fire. And they're not driven by a blade, they're driven by either touch or just kind of like wanting it to be there, right? And I'll go into this a little bit. I don't want to front end him with everything, but he can kind of dice you just by touching you, or he can cut straight through to past the concept of infinity. So he's got a lot of offensive abilities that involve very thematically similar cuts going on.
Yeah, in his fight with Gojo, he uses Megumi's like 10 Shadows technique. 10 Shadows are like different, like essentially curses that he can summon to help him, and he uses Maharaga.
Right? Like they're just
Yeah, Maharaga's the big one that's really strong, but Maharaga's ability is to adapt to anything if it has enough time. And it adapted to Gojo's infinity ability, which creates an infinite space between Gojo and any projectile that comes his way, and allowed Maharaga to cut Gojo. It cut through space, so it just nullified
the world cleaver, if I'm recalling right.
The world
it
cleaver,
cuts
yeah.
through just everything that exists, including
and
infinity.
So
then Sukuna copied that ability and was able to implement that into his like normal cutting ability, which is where he sends out like slashes.
okay,
So
I mean, if Sukuna can kill Gojo, like, what the hell kind of chances Kenpachi have against that, right?
Gojo can also, Kenpachi can also cut through space, and he didn't have any crazy ability to do so. He just fucking did it. He actually's done it multiple times. Yeah. Essentially with Kenpachi, like in Bleach, it's similar to Dragon Ball, where if your Reiatsu is high enough, you just nullify Hack's abilities. So when Ichigo was caught by Hado 90, which is the big black coffin that Aizen uses, it's something that like can warp and cut space. It specifically says it cuts space. he was able to overpower it just with his Ryatsu because it was high enough, because he was stronger than Aizen. That was Dangai Ichigo. And when Ichigo when he gets his true Shikai at the end of the series, they state that, like, oh, you're as strong as you were when you beat Aizen. And Kenpachi, by the end of the series, or specifically really like in the post-series novel, light novel called hang on, let me see what it's called.
Mr. Bleach comes back.
It's the one it's where he fights Hikone. When he fights Hikone, Hikone is strong enough at that point to be a Soul King candidate, and Kenpachi is stronger than them. So Kenpachi's Ryatsu is enough that it would be able to overpower something that could cut space. Also, he himself has cut space.
Does Ryatsu matter in the sense that, like, this is getting kind of into the weeds, but we're talking about like spirit, soul, like afterlife energy kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And is that going to affect Sukuna in the same way that it would affect another?
They're both effectively key. They're very, very similar. That's essentially just
question here.
Yeah.
So Sukuna is obviously Sukuna, but also because of the cursed fingers, possesses 20 other people. It's, X a number of other people. Like, are those?
No, just one person at a time.
Yeah, they've been basically gathered as time goes along in the story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so does Sukuna have their own original body and the current possessed person, or is it like they're transferring like every time
the original
they
corpse
jump forward
is
into a new body?
Mostly gone now. Sukuna didn't have all of his. So what Sukuna tracked down and ate more of his fingers in order to get more powerful. So he was essentially reclaiming like the cursed energy that was in his original body. Then at the end, he doesn't, or before his fight with Gojo, he can't find the last finger, so he eats his own head to get that last remaining like energy.
As you do.
Yeah, so it's not that he has like 20 other Sukunas; it's that he is like if he'd only eat when Yuji only ate one finger, and Sukuna was only like a one finger powerful. Gojo was like effortlessly defeating him. Like they fight at the very beginning of the series, and Gojo is like just doing like you can't touch me.
Right.
Yeah,
he's been building up power throughout the series by finding his original fingers.
Yeah,
which is a very weird sentence.
I love the ability, the body horror elements he's got, because he at one point they're just handing him one of the fingers to hold on to, and so Sukuna manifests a mouth in the hand, and it just consumes it right there.
Yeah, they're like, he's like, well, I'm not gonna eat it, I'm just gonna hold it, and then like Yuji says that, and then the hand, like the mouth, just eats it. He's like, no.
So, very fair question from chat. How do you eat your own head? It's his original head, right?
It's his original head. Yeah.
Yeah. So wait,
we see Sukuna.
Do we know whose body he's in right now?
He's in Megumi's body, but
does that matter here?
Yes, because Megumi has the 10 shadows.
Yeah.
Okay, so he also has the powers of Megumi too.
We're going to assume he's in his body. I would assume because that's
how he beats Gojo.
Strength.
So he needs the 10 shadows.
Right.
I think
he's got the cutting thing.
Just to rule out like a really obvious win condition, is there anything? Because you already said Sukuna like has the point where they like essentially just force feed someone a finger and like become them, right? Is there anything Kenpachi can do, or are you just saying like Kenpachi wouldn't be so strong that wouldn't even be something?
Yeah,
Sukuna
I mean,
could do?
You could make an argument potentially that even if Sukuna was able to like feed him, Sukuna doesn't. First of all, Sukuna doesn't use that as an attack. He only did it to Megumi because Megumi was like a cajillion times weaker, and he could just grab him and force it to him. He can't do that against like people that are, because it's like it's too difficult.
And he'd been setting that up for a while, right? Like he saw him, he's like, oh, this guy is going to be a great future thing to shove my fingers into. So
yeah. And he wouldn't want to do that against
You can quote me on that.
He doesn't like to worm his way into people's bodies. Like he did it against Megumi because it'd be useful against Gojo. He would want to challenge Kenpachi, and I don't think he'd mind losing.
Something I didn't really get to get into. He just kind of is just, because he's kind of a hedonist, right? He's not really after anything. He's not really looking for understanding or fellowship. No. He's just kind of kicking back and killing time until something kills him. He just wants to fight, wants to eat, wants to do whatever.
Yep,
that's it.
He would like to be.
I can get down with the hedonism aspect of it, but
maybe not the finger stuff.
I do have one important question for both of y'all. It's not a question, it's a segue. Stay shut up.
Whoa!
Can either of them defeat body odor? No,
I mean, one of them
course
has
not.
fingers that smell like soap, so
Well,
Yeah, with his Ryatsu.
shush. Not as good as this soap. Let me tell y'all about today's best friend, Mando. Okay, you ever just like, I don't know, deodorant doesn't cut it, you forget to put it on, whatever, it's bad. It happens to me a lot because guess what? I'm an old man and we live in Texas where you sweat 24/7 most of the year. And a lot of deodorants and stuff just don't cut it, but Mando does. From the founders of Lumi, Mando's whole body deodorant is helping men conquer their odor in a new way, formulated with mandelic acid. Mando has long-lasting 72-hour odor control, which is a crazy amount of time. Because I often think, oh, I put on deodorant this morning, and it's dinner, so it's not doing anything anymore. But this stuff, 72 hours. That's like tomorrow's dinner. Still fine. You're still good, okay? And because it's all, it's doctor formulated. It's a whole bunch of nice things like aluminum free, baking soda free, cruelty free, dye free, and even vegan. You can put it all over your body. So it's not just your pits. It's, as they suggest, your package, your feet. I would say you could put it on your weenus, which I think is what this thing on your elbow is called. Just smear it all over your weenus. Totally cool, okay? And to top it off, Mando's cologne quality scents were created with men in mind. Pro tip, go ahead and try their bourbon leather. Great. So, if you want to experience fresher underarms, fresher feet, fresher whatever, trust me, try Mando. You're not going back, okay? So, new customers can get $5 off their starter pack with our exclusive code, and you can find that link in the description. It's just using code DBC at shopmando.com. That's shopmando, SHOPMANDO.com. Go there, code DBC, get it done, smell great. Hooray. Back to the show.
Yeah,
Did you say
hooray.
weenus?
nice. Yeah,
Isn't that what this guy is?
It's like getting Sukuna's fingers all over your weenus, but without the possession.
Oh, right,
And
that
This
is the
is
weenus,
going
isn't it?
Interesting.
72 hours of effect. Yeah, that's the weenus, I think.
That's what I meant. On the weenus.
Yeah, is it not just the elbow? Like, why not just say elbow? Like, that's what this is,
I
right?
don't know. 'Cause
Wait, are you
weenus
talking about
is
the like little
funnier,
nub
I
at
think.
the edge of the? Well, anyway.
I think it's specifically because this skin does a lot of stuff, right? Like it's got stuff, or maybe the weenus is the inside.
I want to say something
Hmm.
because
Okay, yeah,
I
go
have
for it.
never talked enough on this cast. Liam,
Yeah,
let
yeah,
it be known.
obviously.
Liam
Never
doesn't
talked
talk
enough.
I wanted to say thank you to Speedy for sending me all of
Very
this
much.
fucking information. Yeah,
Yep.
Billy
Likewise.
as well.
Yep.
But
Indisputably helpful here.
he totally didn't just message me in the last like few seconds that it wouldn't even work. The possession wouldn't even work on Kenpachi because Bleach characters, again with Ryatsu, can resist it. Ichigo resisting Zangetsu's possession is a recurring theme. Zangetsu and Sukuna
right.
is actually kind of a very similar thing in Bleach as it is in JJK.
Yeah.
That's the kind of like theoretical I'd love to see in this sort of thing. Like, just like would it defend against that? Because it's such a
Yeah, I mean it'd be
overwhelming
really
thing
funny
in
if
Jujutsu, right?
yeah, like he tries it at the very end of the fight, and Kenpachi
Yep,
just
yep.
goes nom 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 nom.
Blech. Tastes like soap.
He just chews on his fingers. Tastes like soap.
I wanted to
talk. Go ahead, Liam. I want to talk.
I wanted to bring up
Kenpachi for a bit.
something kind of insane here. This is more of like a skill feat. Obviously, he has. I think that Kenpachi has a lot more experience than Sukuna. Sukuna has been around since the Heian era, so like 1,000 years. But Sukuna spent most of that as like a dried up little fingers. He wasn't doing anything during that time. And Sukuna is pretty much always stronger than everyone else he's fought, whereas Kenpachi routinely fights people that are as at his level, and he usually just kind of like Kenpachis them. Like he just gets stronger and Kenpachis them. But I wanted to bring up image Kenpachi 7, Mike, if you could. So Tozen, his ability, I think it's his Bankai, I could be wrong, but his ability, did they have Bankais at this point? I don't know. But Tozen's ability is to remove all of your senses except for touch. So he removes your sight, your hearing, your taste, your everything, even your ability to detect spiritual pressure. And he did this to Kenpachi. Kenpachi was actually still evading his sword strikes because the instant that Tozen would hit him with his sword, he'd dodge. So it would only be like the shallowest wound possible. That's how fucking skilled he is, that he was literally just like instinctually and reflexively dodging the instant that the sword touched him. He didn't need any other senses. He was essentially like floating in a void, but he'd feel that and then dodge, and then he does eventually catch Tozen. Through the
you
obvious way,
mentioned-
which is
You mentioned he's been fighting for a long time. What was it, like 1,000 years?
yeah.
Like just as one of the normal things, like what's their length of like combat experience here? Just so I know.
Yeah, I'm seeing some people in chat mention that Kenpachi's over 100 years old, but then Axel Hobo mentions that Sukuna has been reincarnated 7 times, so he has way more experience. So what exactly are we? Are
I think
we?
the question is in his original manifestation, like we don't know how long he was active, right, Liam? Like in the story, it's kind of
We know that he was
vague
in the
still.
Heian era. The Heian,
Right, but
Heian
that's it.
era
That's
was not
about
like
it.
yeah. I mean, I think that he lived an average lifespan, and then when he died, like he lived on through the fingers, so he was possessed. I don't know what they're talking about when he was reincarnated.
That's the big thing to me.
I'm
is that-
assuming reincarnated means like possessing through the fingers. I guess
The fingers, yeah, I guess so.
Is that what they're talking about? Maybe.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'll take this moment to touch on the thing I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. Just real quick. Just catching people up who maybe tuned in partway through the stream. Rooster Teeth is closing its doors in May. For now, we are continuing to post on the Death Battle YouTube channel as normal. You may have noticed that super chats are currently disabled. We also do not recommend buying or gifting any new memberships for the time being. We are processing this information in real time and will provide updates on specific sunset plans on roosterteeth.com in the coming weeks. If you have questions about Rooster Teeth in the meantime, you can contact the company via the support page. You can also keep an eye on us on our social media. We may be able to post updates there depending on what happens. Speaking of which, how's my Goku tweet going?
I mean,
Get a live update here.
You guys, I'm looking for 10,000 likes. I'm not there yet. I'm I mean, I'm doing all right, but I'm only at 500 likes at the moment, guys.
You're
You need to
500
get
Liam,
to
how
it.
long did it take to build
So
that up on your end?
Or you can go to Liam's and unlike his so that we can match it.
I would say that would almost be better to be.
No, I don't like that. That one is one I don't like. In fact, I'm gonna go screenshot my tweet now so that I have it as part of reality that this happened.
Okay.
Scroll,
Just
scroll,
kidding.
scroll,
Don't
stupid
unlike his.
bullshit no one cares about. Blah blah blah. He's angry
Guys are
about
trying to beat
something.
Liam here. We're all trying to beat Liam.
The ultimate. That's
Okay,
I mean, that's
cool.
the main goal of Cast, right? To beat Liam.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, speaking of which,
I'm the
how
Sukuna
can
cast.
Sukuna beat Liam?
Well, yeah, Liam, help me defeat Liam a little bit. What do you think Hollow Wicker Basket would do to most of Kenpachi's abilities? Like, as long
I don't
as
think
you
it would fucking
maintain
do-
it, right?
I don't even fucking do anything. It helps you against domains. It doesn't help you against
Right.
like it's not
Do
like
you think that
it wouldn't.
they're not analogous? They wouldn't really affect each other.
Nah, I don't think it would.
I can buy that to
speaking-
a degree. Yeah.
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 Speaking
That's
of
a weird.
domains,
I mean, I don't buy that at all.
Speaking of domains, Sukuna's domain is called Malevolent Shrine. So what a domain is in Jujutsu Kaisen, it's basically like you create a little bubble of space that traps your opponent, and then whatever your like curse technique is, it's like a super fucked up, really strong version of it in the domain that's usually unblockable. You can't avoid
Right.
it. So if you get caught in a domain, you're just fucked, unless you're stronger or have something like Hollow Wicker Basket to block it. Sukuna's is unique in that it doesn't actually it's open, so you can actually just walk out of its range if you want to. But it's like
No
that
barrier to
because
keep you inside. Yeah.
it's like insanely powerful. It uses his cutting technique, but it does it on everything in the range, and the range is like huge. It's like a kilometer or something like that. It's like super crazy.
It's like constantly being applied, right? Like it's
Yes.
It's just kind of without end. Like, yeah, it's cleave and dismantle. And cleave is kind of like this crisscross pattern that happens when he touches you, and dismantle, I think, is just a distance, a projectile attack that
Something like that.
no
yeah.
one can perceive. The only people who've ever been able to perceive it are Maharaga, the entity that he possesses now, and Maki, who it was that's it, just two people. Even
Maki's
Gojo-
whole thing is that she like forsook any like ability to have curse technique in order to make her body like crazy fucking strong. So that's her. She's like it's like physical. She's literally stats versus hacks. So
Does
she's
that not
able to-
just mean that's her curse technique?
Well, she
Like,
isn't.
well,
it
that's
isn't
just
a cur-
not.
I mean, it
Oh,
effectively
okay, I
works as a
see.
curse technique. but it's not.
But it's not. It's like the weird like not, but
It isn't technically considered one by the
Yeah.
laws of the curse rules or whatever. Okay.
But as long as he's got you within the malevolent shrine, he's applying a constant attacks to you, right? So
Yeah. I think that Kenpachi A would probably fucking get a hard on by Malevolent Shrine. Like he'd just be getting shredded and just be like walking through it. If you are strong enough, you can like the wounds will not be like deadly. Like or will go all the way. Gojo was able to protect against it. His Reiatsu should be enough to shield him.
Did Gojo get a hard on? That was very specific wording.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm
very
Kenpachi
concerned.
would get a hard on. Kenpachi would get a hard on. Gojo did not get a hard on.
Gojo
I
got
don't think Gojo's
a
ever had sex.
an extreme weight loss program is all he got out of it.
Okay. I don't. I feel uncomfortable voting for Kenpachi if the result is he's getting a hard on from all this, Leo.
Have you seen?
I don't know, man.
Have you seen Kenpachi?
I think it's worth noting that the fact that he's able to make a domain without the barrier around it is considered extremely impressive. Like it's not.
Yes.
I don't think is that the only time it happens in the series.
No, I think it could be. It's not. It's something that is possible to do, but it's not. It's not. It's
like a
super
level of
not
control.
common. Yeah. And he could make one with a barrier. He could choose to make Malevolent Shrine
You
with a
described
barrier.
it as painting in the air without a canvas. Is basically what he's doing. Yeah, he's like just putting it out.
Oh, Kenjaku's is also open barrier. Thank you, Brain. It was totally my brain that just thought of that, and not Speedy that just messaged. Kenjaku also has it. But Kenjaku is also like a master. He's been alive for like 7 months.
Yeah, real quick. I did. Fork 3 in chat asked, or they mentioned they wanted to buy the Death Battle card game. So I have my copy right here. Yeah, you go ahead. In fact, it's actually, I believe, at a pretty steep discount right now. Because there's kind of a fire.
It's like $10 right
There's a
now.
fire sale happening. I don't know if you heard. So you can go get it. It's like $10. So go grab it now. Yeah, but
It's an everything must
it
go
definitely-
situation.
if
So
you-
go get it.
If you order it, like if they have it in stock, it'll get shipped. I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, it's not like. Yeah, don't worry. Just Rooster Teeth store. If it's up on the store, yeah, buy it.
There we go. Yeah,
could be yours
it's. I don't think there's that many left. So if you are
Yeah.
interested in getting one while you still can, now's probably the best time.
A couple of months ago, I mentioned that we had only had like 60 or something left in stock. We then got a second shipment of
Nice.
some, but not as much as the first shipment, because it was like, the first one came fast, and then the second one, boats come in big shipments and stuff. So the second one wasn't as many, so we didn't have a ton. So I imagine,
Nightbot just
If you wanna
posted
buy
a thing that was said pre-order the game. It's not pre-order. It's
Oh,
out.
yeah, it's out.
It's like
It's-
actual
you
You
order.
don't pre-order
So-
before the
Nightbot's
holiday
drunk.
season.
Don't worry about Nightbot.
Pre-order the order that then arrives at your house in the time that it's supposed to be because it's an actual order. So yeah. Anyway, all right.
Hey, we've talked a lot about it cutting. Let's talk about like non-cutting abilities, Liam, because I think they both got some of that at least.
Yeah.
You go first, please.
I wanted to add Kenpachi, just to further counter the Malevolent Shrine thing. Kenpachi also has his own version of Malevolent Shrine, which is just his Reiatsu. His Reiatsu pressure is enough that if you could bring up images 5 and 6, Mike. In image 5, people are describing just being in proximity of his Reiatsu. They're describing it as just the feeling of it's possessed of both a harshness and a weight that was capable of putting one under an illusion, almost as though you were being tipped over a mountain of needles just by standing there. It can be confirmed that the other Squad 11 troops were all alike in breaking out in a cold sweat. And also, in a different thing, Zaraki's Reiatsu is currently too strong for the surrounding Reishi, which is spirit matter, causing the Reishi to crumble, burning it. He could probably cut air now. So his Reiatsu is strong enough that it disintegrates matter that is just near him. That's how powerful he is, which is actually kind of a more advanced version of Malevolent Shrine. Obviously, it wouldn't have the same range, although
I was going to say, what do you think the
probably
range
expand
is
it.
like that?
you
how
probably
far
have
does
to be
it reach?
relatively near him. But
It's like right next to him, right?
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
doesn't go that
Understanding-
far.
the thing that the point I'm making is that Malevolent Shrine is like this super advanced fucking like technique. That's not a technique for Kenpachi. That's just
It's just
you're
a thing.
near him, and the pressure that he gives off is doing this.
I think
So
Malevolent Shrine is about 2 football fields worth of distance from
Yeah.
where it is. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty wide area that's just constantly shredding your ass. But
it's larger range, but like as we'll keep going, like I don't think it's gonna matter at all because Kenpachi's like his power is enough that he can match and surpass this stuff kind of without any technique. He just swings his sword, does worse damage. You wanted to talk about
Enough with the cuts!
Kenpachi doesn't have a lot of non-cutting techniques. He's a really strong dude that with a big ass sword that cuts. You should talk about Sukuna's other techniques because part of my argument is that Kenpachi counters a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what the first one that comes to mind is Fuga. I think it's the a powerful arrow made of fire, which
Yes.
was hot enough to completely incinerate Jogo, which is a
Yep.
cursed entity that's born from humanity's fear of fire and is
Yeah.
a living volcano person. So it burned that guy to death.
Which is really impressive.
Yes.
Like Kenpachi is actually stronger than Yamamoto, who is one of the Soul Society people, whose technique burns at 15 million degrees Celsius, which is even hotter than that. And the people that Yamamoto was fighting were able to resist that, and Kenpachi is by the end of the series like way stronger than Yamamoto.
Can I say I love when combatants like this have like analogous powers? It's so beautiful. It's like this
Yes, I
symmetry.
agree.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Now you got to do that in George Lucas voice, Billy.
Yeah. Actually,
How's your
I'm not doing
Lucas
that.
voice?
No,
Like
no, I'm not
poetry, it
doing that.
rhymes.
There we go.
Pretty good.
Isn't that what Death Battle's always been about? Is that the actual
Imitating George
secret?
Lucas?
Is that the secret slogan for Death Battle the whole time though? It's like poetry, it rhymes. Is that what we've always been trying to accomplish?
That sounds right to me.
There we go. It
I love
only
that
took
someone
us over
mentioned,
10 years to figure out our mission statement here at Death Battle.
I see in the Discord, someone mentioned Cajun Crowd. I think Stand Proud. I love whenever someone's fighting him that is of not equal level, but he's impressed by. He's just like good for you. You're great. Thanks. Bye. And they're dead. It's he appreciates that you gave it a shot. That's about it. But
Tell me about reverse curse technique, Billy.
I don't wanna. I mean, yes, I will.
I feel like Liam does this thing where he's like he subtly puts the other person on the defensive, and they're like,
I mean,
"You speak," and it's like
great
the most
debate strategy.
It's,
Liam is
it's
a
the
terrifying
most
person to go up
dickhead
against.
like the art of business kind of techniques
I learned
he
this.
can show through.
You
Yeah.
would do this to me. I learned it from you guys.
Yeah, but I'm putting you on blast.
You
not
turned the
me.
fact that I can like list off information against me because if you ask the person something, then it puts them on the defensive naturally. It's a technique that I've learned.
It puts them where
It's
you
my-
want them to be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
but
that's-
then
it's definitely
it's in a context though where we're on a podcast, so the other person has to feel like also I need to help float the show right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel like it's just it's
definitely
I admire a scumbag technique. Obviously, they're my
Yeah,
bread and butter. Nobody.
I mean, I think this is the way to go. Like it's that's what he would use to end up healing himself. He basically inverts cursed energy to make it a healing kind of thing that he can do to regenerate lost limbs or heal massive gaping wounds and stuff like that. That's what a lot of people end up using as the series goes along to survive things.
Which, to be fair,
Absolutely
is a
should not.
better form of healing than Kenpachi has. That is, he has better healing. However, Reiatsu, along with negating hacks techniques, can also impede healing. So when Ulquiorra cut Ichigo, there was Reiatsu left on the wound that he gave to Ichigo, and Orihime could not heal him at first. She had to break through his Reiatsu in order to do that. Why that's relevant is that Orihime's healing ability is supercharged reverse curse technique. It literally reconstructs reality in order to heal you. It isn't just I apply healing salve or I merge the cells back together. It reality warps you to healing. It says actually you're not healed anymore. And just Ulquiorra's powerful Reiatsu, it didn't have a special effect on it that made it anti-healing or something. It was just strong. So Kenpachi's own cuts would be able to prevent Sukuna from healing, as well as the fact that oh yeah, go on.
Oh no, this is relatively recent to the manga. Liam, do you recall he's suffered a wound recently, kind of across his back or front that he's not
Yeah.
able to heal super quickly. Do you recall what the deal was with there?
Yeah,
I
Maki
think it's
stabbed
relevant.
him with a like anti-curse weapon, I believe, something that negates curse techniques.
Yeah. And he's still
Negates.
healing it slightly, but it's like very slow compared
Very
to
slow.
the
Yeah,
rest of his body, right? So
he's also
kind
running out of.
overcoming it.
Yeah, he's also like running out of uh cursed energy too. Like he's this is like at the end of like a well, I don't know at the end, but he's fought a lot of people so far, so he's running low. And
Yeah,
I think the idea is he's
it's
trying
worth
to
noting that
conserve.
right now in the manga, he is in his Frieza arc, where
Yes.
he's just killed Gojo. He's fighting like a constant string of people.
Yeah.
And we don't know where it's going still, but he's still going. So
He's definitely holding back to a degree. Like they say that like he hasn't gone full out yet.
Mhm.
And when Maki fought him, the fight only really lasted one chapter before he used Black Flash on her. So we have not seen the top of him yet, but
He hasn't. Has he gotten his last finger?
he
happened
ate,
yet?
he
That's still
ate
missing,
his
right?
head. No, the
Okay,
last
right,
finger
but-
20th
was
is still
used
missing, yeah.
in something else.
So we haven't seen Sakuna at like 100% full
Well,
power. then.
actually, Speedy just mentioned to me, this is right after his fight with Gojo, which has weakened him significantly, right? Because
Yeah.
freaking Gojo.
It's Gojo, yeah.
who assumed, and everyone assumed at the cliffhanger, totally gonna win. Next chapter, not so much. But yeah, that's the main reason he's not healing as quickly as he should in fashion.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to talk about Kenpachi's fight with Gremmy, because I think the biggest, most useful aspect of Sukuna's arsenal here is not his like cutting, it's Maharaga. Because Maharaga is not at the same level of Sukuna physically, or Gojo. When he used Maharaga in the fight against Gojo, it was more like Sukuna was like taking up Gojo's like most of Gojo's like attention while giving Maharaga time to like heal or to adapt. Because
He was tanking
Maharaga
stuff for him, yeah.
yeah, when Sukuna fought a weaker Sukuna fought Maharaga and like bodied him easily. So it isn't that Maharaga himself is like super strong, it's that the adaptation ability is what's busted.
It seems to be that Sukuna conjuring them is supercharging them to a degree too. It seems like to me. at
That's
least.
true. That's also true. That's true.
Right.
But still, I think Gojo would have like rocked Maharaga, and he did. He like easily he used purple and demolished him. But not before Sukuna learned the technique.
That's the
So-
thing. Like, Sukuna is one of the typical anime like tactician, right? He's like letting this happen to build
Yes.
an immunity to the abilities that Gojo's throwing at him.
And
Yeah.
what's relevant
Obviously would
about
apply
that
here.
is that you can't adapt to Kenpachi, because this is literally a fight that happens in the series. In Bleach, in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, Kenpachi fights a guy called Gremmy. And Gremmy has an ability where anything that he imagines, he can put into reality. He can just imagine anything into reality. And he does this by he starts off by imagining a bunch of guns behind him, and he shoots Kenpachi, or he summons. Famously, one of the big calcs in the series is the meteor that he summons. A meteor that is like has been calced to be almost like 900 kilometers across. It was going to obliterate the Surete. I think we haven't talked about stats, but I'll just mention since I'm talking about it. It has been calced to be about 330 zetatons. Kenpachi easily cut through it and disintegrated almost all of it with a single sword slash in his Shikai. This is not Bankai, so this is before the 10 times increase. And this was so frustrating for Gremmy because he was like, how do I fucking beat this guy? So the next thing that he thinks of is and this is image Kenpachi 1, Mike, and we're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4. Image Kenpachi 1, where he's like, okay, I can't like kill you outright, so I'm going to imagine a portal to outer space and fucking send you there because you're going to die in outer space, you fuck. So he sends Kenpachi into outer space, and in Kenpachi 2, he's describing it. He's saying like you're fucked up, and then you notice at the bottom of the page, the portal closes. If you could bring up Kenpachi 3, this is what I talked about before. Kenpachi reopened the portal by cutting a hole in space. He just cut it, so he beat that. So then what Gremmy does next is he imagines. He's like, okay, I just need to imagine being stronger than Kenpachi. So he imagines himself as stronger than Kenpachi, and then his body fucking like rips apart under his own power. And he says at the end, he says like, I couldn't beat you, and this is Kenpachi 4, because I literally couldn't imagine being stronger than Kenpachi. So for a person whose
Hey,
ability,
that just sounds like a skill issue to
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Lack of
That's his fault.
imagination, for sure.
he essentially fights.
He's just so bewildered. He's just so like, oh man,
You're so
senpai, you're so
strong.
strong. I can't possibly imagine being stronger than you. Like that's what that sounds like to me.
And this is Kenpachi 4, where he's like admitting defeat. But yeah, like against somebody who doesn't just adapt, but can literally imagine any counter to whoever he's fighting. He couldn't do it. Obviously, like the two ways that you beat Hamaharaga are A, killing him before he adapts, which Kenpachi can do just by cutting him and like obliterating him, like disintegrating him. Or B, killing him after he adapts, which Kenpachi can do because he fought Grimmy, who's just a better version of Maharaga's ability.
Liam, can I sidetrack for a moment? So I want to, because this feels like something that might come up as it goes along, relatedly in the manga, like Fumihiko Takaba, the comedian, Japanese comedian.
Yeah, Takaba. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like his concept is his power manifests as long as he thinks it's funny, it can happen. He basically warps reality to waylay a completely different character. How do you think that would apply in a case with Sukuna? Because I feel like it's something that could come up based on the way things are going in the manga. Like, and that seems like a character you'd throw at him thinking, oh yeah, that's an ace that might work. But
interesting. Well, Takaba, I think, might be dead right now. He might have technically died in his fight.
Like, he convinced him maybe that he was dead, but not.
Wait, what is he capable of exactly?
Yes.
He's Toon Force. He has the Toon Force ability where anything that he's a comedian, and if he thinks that something is funny, he imagines it into reality, like passively. And the way that Kenjaku, he fights Kenjaku, and the way that Kenjaku fights him, Kenjaku understands the ability pretty immediately, and goes, oh, I just have to convince him that he's not funny. And I have to like break his confidence, or I have to be funnier than him in order to break his confidence. So that's the arc, is where they're having like a comedy off, and Kenjaku is like trying to avoid being hurt by his comedy. Really, it's just a way
deeper.
Yeah, it's a way of just distracting Kenjaku, because Takaba doesn't kill people. So it's just a way of distracting Kenjaku before Yuta snuck up on him and then like cut his head off. So that was the end of the arc.
He kind of like convinces him, oh yeah, you've lived your final dream, and he's like on the ground in a kind of funeral garb, just like laying there. But then again, he moves right afterwards. So
that's true. He isn't dead. He does react to being dragged by Yuta. So I don't know. Sukuna
would obviously not be into this shit.
No,
I just wonder, because it's very related to what you're conversing with. Like, obviously, that seems like a natural thing to throw against it.
Yeah, Sukuna's the funniest character in the series, technically. So
right.
Maybe.
Well, we do need to wrap this up and get to the vote. So let's get some very quick last minute things from you guys. So for Kenpachi, is there anything you haven't covered that you really want to make sure is mentioned?
I'll just briefly mention stats. I mean, he could cut that giant meteor, which is planet level. He threatened to split the Dangai in half in one of the light novels, in The Spirits Are Forever With You light novel, which is at least planet-sized. That's been calced to 3 Yotatons, and that was without his Bankai. And he fought, he's stronger than characters like Squad Zero, which with their power combined were able to shake the Earth, the Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo at the same time. Not just the planets of Earth's Soul Society and Hueco Mundo, but the heavens as well. Like space itself shook, which has been calced to like 460 Zetafo, which is better than anything that Jujutsu Kaisen has for surezies. And
seems really high for Bleach. I don't know. Okay.
And early characters, even in like the Soul Society and even in the Substitute Shinigami arc, are faster than light. They're able to dodge stuff. This is without like multipliers, like all the upscaling. In the Arankar arc, there are these attacks called balas, which are like Zeros, but 20 times faster, and Zeros are stated to be light speed. So characters, even in the middle of the series, are dodging 20 times faster than light stuff, which is faster than anything in Jujutsu Kaisen. So he's stronger, he's faster, he's tougher, and as mentioned in the bulk of this discussion, he negates all of Sukuna's hacks.
Okay, Billy.
Oh God. No, Speedy recommended to me. I bring up Yuki Tsukumo. When upon death, created a large black hole capable of destroying the planet. Description in the chapter talks about how light can't escape a black hole. Yada yada yada. and the power of this black hole is equal to 173 yotatons of TNT. Also noted that Liam apparently in the past has said that's totally a black hole, so that's exactly what it was.
It's true. It is a black hole.
Legitimately resisted that. It sounds like there's a speed and strength argument to be made here that is maybe debatable, but again, I kind of lean on this all is still in the midst of happening, right? Like, Sukuna would have to be 7.4 times faster than the speed of light to dodge Kashimo's electromagnetic waves from point blank range. Is shown in the manga that it is point blank. It's not dodging, aiming. It's the actual firing and then dodging it.
Yeah, it's like around here, and well, it's a different character that does it.
And it's still obviously clearly faster. We haven't seen the upper limits of what he can do. We will at some point here. So there's a speed element there to be argued that we haven't seen nothing yet.
I'm gonna put the poll up, but we still have to talk.
I already have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm putting it up right now.
Um,
Had it typed up. All right, the poll is up. Go ahead and start getting your votes in. We do have a few more things to cover. I will say before we get to it, there is it's a bit awkward timing, but there is a new piece of merch up.
Yeah.
There's a new badge. So because we've had memberships for 2 years, and there's that new black and gold badge that you guys have, which was designed by Luis over 2 years ago. There is now a new physical pin of the badge, which you can get. I believe there was a link in chat to store earlier. We can get that back up. So you'll find that next to the Death Battle game. It's a cool little badge. If you've been a member for a while, yeah, there it is. Feel free to get that if you feel like you want it. But yeah, obviously it is a bit of an awkward time for that to come in. Yeah, felt like it would be important to mention. And just to say this one more time on stream for those of you who've come in a little late. You probably know Rooster Teeth is closing its doors in May, and for now we are going to be continue to post on the Death Battle YouTube channel as normal. Super chats are currently disabled, and we currently do not recommend buying or gifting any new memberships for the time being. We're processing this info in real time. We will give updates on specific sunset plans on roosterteeth.com in the coming weeks. If you have questions about Rooster Teeth in the meantime, you can contact the company via the support page, and also just follow us on social media. We might be sharing updates on there sometime as well. So, and of course, thank you so much for all your support over the years, and also being members for these 2 years that it's been going. I believe we just hit our 2-year anniversary, which is it's all kind of awkward timing, but
Yeah.
It's very I'm very thankful for you guys and impressed. So thank you all.
Me
okay,
get my glasses. I'm sure I'm gonna have to read some stuff. I'm prepared.
Yes,
this week.
yes. You want to read these?
Lambo.
Okay.
Oh God. they got
Let's go
schmucks on
ahead
them.
and bring up the first answer from you guys for this one.
Yeah, Kenpachi is just way too strong for Sukuna, and significantly faster too. He could probably have on his various limiters like the balls and his eye patch, and still give Sukuna some trouble. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Sukuna?
His limiters.
And it's bells. He has
Sukuna.
bells on his hair so that you
Oh,
can
okay.
hear him
Yeah.
moving. Essentially,
They're holding him back, so it's fair.
they're holding him
kind
back.
of
Yeah,
thing,
it's making
Yeah.
him, it's making it
Yeah.
easier to fight him.
All right. Let's
Um,
see the answer for Sukuna then from you guys.
Sukuna.
Sukuna.
Time to use my anti-Kenpachi technique. I haven't used the Heine.
Hello?
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
Billy, you never did mention it. We mentioned at the top of the stream that he's
Yeah.
got the anti-Kenpachi technique. Like, I don't think
So-
you ever brought that up.
So Liam, I think you could probably do this some favors. Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
we go.
that's it. That's it. Okay.
That's
That
the worst
says it
thing you
all.
could have provided. That's the death. That means you're about to die.
He is numerous cliffhangers that happen in the manga, and then immediately turns around because he's got a technique that he set up
Radkuna.
back in the era.
Mahoraga,
It just
help
happens to
me.
be.
Help me, Mahoraga-chan.
Oh my god.
I
All
do think
right.
there's a serious strength push to be made for him. But yeah, it'd be very interesting to see the next couple
Who's-
issues.
Who's voting first?
Okay. Well, so we haven't shown it yet, so I'm just gonna ask to bring this up. This isn't gonna count towards the overall vote, but this is what you guys thought before the show started. Let's go ahead and bring up the pre-show poll just to get the general consensus from earlier. It does look like Kenpachi did have a lead
Popularity,
in the earlier poll. Now, Kenpachi's obviously a legacy character compared to Sukuna, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. What are you thinking, Sam?
I'm thinking Kenpachi, sadly, as much as I hate to give it a Liam out of principle. I feel like I can't deny the fact that Kenpachi does sound. And I do think it's one of these things, and maybe it's, it's nice to do this here in this format, because like, oh yeah, we should definitely wait until maybe we can revisit this when Sukuna's done, right? Like that arc hasn't finished, whereas like...
He's got to get his last finger.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know there's a butt pull coming out in this for sure. It's happening. With those fingers, there's a butt pull happening.
It's hidden up. Okay, sure. Anyway, man, as much as I really want to do the troll vote here and say Sukuna because he's gonna get his fingers all over Kenpachi, and what the heck is he gonna do after that? Because this is just such a funny idea of how Sukuna could potentially beat Kenpachi, but he'd probably get all over. He might have the range advantage, maybe. He might be able to get up to Kenpachi, but then he just gets disintegrated by the Ryatsu. So I don't know. I think I got Billy.
Speedy has been saying Liam hasn't given any numbers as high as the black hole feat.
Yes, I did. I said 460 Zeta Foe.
Yeah, you did the faux thing, which is like crazy.
You're throwing numbers at Ringmaster here.
Shaken universes.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's a bit, but that's a little bit more than a black hole. A little bit. Shit. Billy, I need convincing. Why should I vote? You know what? I think I have to vote for Sukuna because that Baby Yoda behind Billy has been glowing demonically towards me the entire time, and I do feel like if I don't vote for Billy, I'm gonna be possessed next by Baby Yoda's fingers. So I'm voting Sukuna. Why is it set up that way, Billy?
I don't know.
Why do you have this like
it just happened? It's just the way of life.
It's so ominous looking.
Should I?
Well, that's why I'm covering it most of the time, right? Like it's to protect you all.
All right. I figured out how to do the troll vote, but let's go ahead and get your guys' vote from the chat, which is a pretty convincing 75% to Kenpachi. And with that, Kenpachi takes the win.
To Kenpachi percent. The highest percent there could be.
Is that how it works?
I'd be very interested in this matchup when we get to the end of the arc in Jujutsu.
Cool.
I think
it's another one of those, poetry rhymes like matchups where there's a lot of connections that do make this a really fascinating matchup. And if nothing else, I want to see Sukuna in a death battle just for all the wacky shenanigans that this could create. This is super fun.
He's so funny.
It's funny. He's basically the main character, like without being in it most of it. He's the thing that the show is about.
The author likes him the most. Fuck. He hates Yuji. He hates Gojo.
and Kenpachi, I mean, we've talked about Kenpachi and Death Battle before. Kenpachi just seems like such a perfect fit for Death Battle. It's kind of crazy that we haven't had a Kenpachi episode. So I would love to bring him into a future episode if we can. Maybe this is the one. Let us know if you think this would make a great death battle, or if maybe there's a death battle matchup for a different one, for either one that maybe you'd prefer. Go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. Okay, real quick update. Is my Goku wins tweet better than Liam's? Well, it is
Not
currently
yet.
You did get it over 1,000 likes, which is, you know what? That's better than I was expecting. We're on our way, everybody.
Ben activates domain expansion, Twitter likes.
Yeah, my domain expansion, Goku wins. That's mine. I'm stealing it from Liam's, apparently. All right, everybody.
I will
Thank you so
say,
much for
really
joining
quick,
us.
Not to end on a sad note, but I think we'd be remiss not to mention the passing of Akira Toriyama recently and how much
Yes.
they affected Death Battle. I don't think you could find a single staff member that wasn't inspired by them. I mean, I know for myself that was like my introduction to anime and Eastern culture, and so just like a big thank you from the staff. You meant a lot to a lot of us, and thanks for all the good stuff, shows and stuff. They're great in games. Anyways, that was my last one. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Because yes. I see in the chat some people asking, will there be a fireside chat tomorrow? Not tomorrow. We're moving it to next week just because everything that's happened. But we should have one next week. So just stay tuned. We'll probably post about that on the aforementioned social medias and whatnot. And yes, go watch some Dragon Ball this weekend if you didn't last weekend.
It's always a good time. For sure.
It's always
Never
a
a
good
bad time for some Dragon Ball.
Yeah, never a bad time for it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's Death Battle Cast. Again, we are going to be continuing Death Battle Cast for the time being. So we will see you next week. Take
Bye,
care.
y'all.